Yeah, if you take the vaccine, you're not going to get a Rachel Maddow, Joe Biden. I can give you Fauci. I can give you and you've seen these clips before. It's not like you've never seen it before.
Yeah, what happened?
They were wrong.
Hold on. So.
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about the debate between Neil deGrasse Tyson and Patrick Bet-David of Valuetainment about the VAX. Now, this is a very, very, very hot button issue. I understand both sides of the argument. You guys, if you watch me at all, you guys know where I'm at. You should get the VAX if you want it, but if you don't want it, you shouldn't get it, and nobody should force you one way or the other. That is my point of view, and I think that is a right point of view, but I don't think Neil deGrasse Tyson feels that same way. Now, if you don't know who Neil deGrasse Tyson is, I'll talk about him in a little bit, but first, let's get to the video. Of course, this full clip, the full 25 minutes or so, will be in the description if you want to see it and hear it without my commentary. We won't see the entire thing right here, but let's go ahead and roll this piece.
With any public health decision, there has to be a consequence to you not participating in that social contract.
Let's pause right there. Just to be on the same page, he's talking about, hey, if you don't want to get the VAX because of public health reasons, well, the VAX is there and you should get it because public health. And if you don't want to get it, then there should be a consequence against you. That's what he's saying here. And if I'm wrong, y'all please correct me in the comments.
Is it your job? In some cases it was. But no, we're not going to have the Army bust into your home and force a needle into your shoulder. That's not going to happen.
We pretty much did that.
Well, only put your job at risk, yes.
Yeah, 67% of Americans took the COVID. That's force. That's not a choice. That's a lot of force and coercing and pushing going on. But you can't go to the school unless you're vaccinated against. That's bullshit.
You can't go to school, can't go to work, can't go pretty much anywhere. I think there was even a travel ban. You couldn't even leave the country. Like, y'all correct me, but there was a lot going on behind that. It was completely crazy.
I think that's bullshit.
That's a different country.
Yeah, but
okay, would you want a country?
No, America is supposed to be the one that offers the most freedom. That's what America is supposed to be.
Yeah, okay, so watch.
So for example, if you use that argument, somebody may say, well, freedom of choice, I want to choose what I want to do with the body. You're right.
What body?
If you want to get an abortion, it's your choice.
Your own body. Sorry.
If you want to get an abortion, get.
That's where the VAX goes, right? In your own body. when you get the VAX, you're not putting it in somebody else's body and counting that as you being vaxxed. It goes in your body. You should be able to choose what you want to do with your body when it comes to the VAX. Now, I'm not really feeling his comment about abortion because, you know, the abortion, the baby is not your body, but that's a different story, and I won't go down that road. Let's go ahead and continue.
Get an abortion. If I want to get the vaccine, I get to choose. So you can't force. If I can't force you to get an abortion, you shouldn't be able to force me to get.
Because it's not about you. It's about people you interact with, and that's the social contract of public health.
We don't even know if the vaccine worked or not at the time.
Now let's pause for a minute. It's going to be a weird edit, but I'm going to show you what CDC Director Rochelle Walensky said about the vaccine, if it's going to help you in the way that he said or not.
Our vaccines are working exceptionally well. They continue to work well for Delta with regard to severe illness and death. They prevent it. But what they can't do anymore is prevent transmission.
This was in 2021, like right around summertime, 2021, about a year and a half ago. She said this. This is CDC Director Rochelle Walensky, not some kind of just random person talking random. The CDC Director. It says it right there, right up on the screen.
So if you're
Rochelle Walensky. Okay, so what are we talking about, Neil deGrasse Tyson? Let's keep on going.
Yes, that's what the trials are, dude. That's why these trials. Are you missing data out there?
But let me ask you a question. Are we saying only one type of scientists are right?
No, we're saying that the system in place.
The 16,000 that signed that.
No.
See, he was trying to just move past that point that Patrick Bet-David made about the 16,000 or 1,600 doctors that signed a letter talking about the VAX in a different way than what the mainstream doctors were saying. Oh, it'll work just fine. No. They were saying the opposite, but they get ignored. And Neil deGrasse Tyson is trying to just skip past that to ignore that point to continue to make his own point.
The system in place to test vaccines, there's an entire system that's in place. that with review boards and all of this,
and the average
that's in place. Now you can say what you can say is, I have a better idea than all these review boards and all these agencies and the CDC. I have a better idea. Here's what you should do, and that would have made everything better. Okay, you can put forth that idea, but what I'm saying is, in a case where you can contaminate someone else, it's not about you.
But you just mentioned the CDC and their methods of testing and everything else. I just showed you the CDC Director a year and a half ago, summertime 2021, saying that the VAX cannot prevent transmission. This means that if you get the VAX, it doesn't matter. Like it doesn't matter if you're vaxxed or not. If you catch the bug, which you still can't catch it while vaxxed, because all they say about the vax is that it reduces your symptoms. That's their only claim. It reduces your symptoms. It cannot prevent transmission. It means you can still catch it and spread it. So what he's saying right there has been proven wrong. People have gone on television, actual doctors, CDC director, and they've said that he's wrong. So why does he keep perpetuating this lie, this falsehood, this untruth?
It's about the collective
You're assuming
health.
You're assuming because somebody can take the vaccine, won't get COVID, which, by the way, I don't need to play the clips for you to see it, where everybody said, hey, if you get it, you're not going to get, if you take the vaccine, you're not going to get a Rachel Maddow, Joe Biden. I can give you Fauci. I can give you, and you've seen these clips before. It's not like you've never seen it before.
Yeah, what happened
They were wrong.
Hold on. So, the strain evolved.
Oh, okay. The strain evolved, right? Okay, so you admit that he's saying the right thing. Oh, but the strain evolved. That's the reason why we were wrong. Oh, okay, the strain evolved. So now it becomes this whole this cat and mouse game. Now you got to get the new booster, the new variant, this, that. Are you paid by Pfizer, Moderna? Like, are they paying you to go in here and say this stuff? Because what you're saying right now is the strain's evolving and you got to keep chasing it with brand new things that have never been tested before. They may do trials, but that's not, you can't, it's impossible to test for long-term effects. You can't accelerate time in the trial. You can only see what it does to somebody immediately, or to animals or whatever immediately. You can't test for long-term effects. Like when you've been exposed to water at Camp Lejeune, or you've been exposed to asbestos at a shipyard, now you got COPD, mesothelioma, and cancer, and everything else. There's no way to test for that in the long term. And we're starting to see certain little side effects that could be considered long term after the vax. People passing out randomly for no reason. Okay, crazy blood clots in patients that were not there before. I don't know. I can't sit here and say that the vax is what's causing it, but I could still, I'm not, Albert Einstein, but I know how to add 2 + 2 and still get 4, but let's keep on going.
Okay. So that the vaccine that prevented you from catching COVID was tuned to the variant of COVID at the time the vaccine was designed. Okay. Over time, there were variants that arose. The vaccine provided partial protection against the new variants.
Partial protection?
Enough to keep you.
Wait a minute. Partial protection. How much is partial? Like, give me a percentage. Partial? First you were saying, you get it, you be good. And everybody said if you get it, you'll be good. Now you're saying, it's partial protection. Well, give me your percentage.
You from dying statistically, and to
statistically keep you from dying, but not necessarily factually. Shout out to Colin Powell. May he rest in peace.
Basically keep you out of the hospital, allowing other people with more severe problems to get the hospital attention.
Are we going back to the 2020 talking points of the crowded hospitals where you had all the TikTok nurses putting on whole Broadway dance routines? Are we really going back to that? Neil, where have you been for the past 3 years? Have you been like literally locked up in a cage somewhere with no new information? I feel like I'm watching a podcast from late 2020 and not January 2023. This came out just 18 hours ago. This is not an old podcast. Okay, this is something that's brand new. It's not even 24 hours old, but it's giving me 3-year-old talking points.
They required. And so then they would develop a subsequent, the booster and a subsequent mixture of the vaccine. This is what happens every year with a flu shot. They look.
Okay, but the thing about the flu shot is that we're not required to get that. I never heard anybody say, hey, you got to get the flu shot or else you're not going to have a job anymore. And I've never gotten the flu shot in my whole life. Not that I can remember. Maybe when I was a kid going to school to get the inoculations or whatever, when I was a little boy. But not since I've been grown have I ever gotten the flu shot. Okay? I may have had the flu before, but, I have an immune system and it worked. Just because I don't get the shot doesn't mean I'm going to die. There's more to this. Of course, I could be here all day with you, but I want to respect your time. If you want to see this full 25-minute clip of this podcast that focuses on the vax and whatnot, I'll link to that in the description. But as I close, I want to say this. Neil deGrasse Tyson, old talking points. Are you sponsored by Pfizer, Moderna, Johnson & Johnson, the federal government? Who sent you here to talk like this? I don't really understand. At one point, Neil deGrasse Tyson was, kind of a guy that you would respect a little bit. But now I'm getting Bill Nye, the chemical engineer guy vibes. I'm not really getting a guy that has his finger on the pulse of what's happening in America, nor a guy that's very competent about medical advances. You're parroting the mainstream points. Maybe you want to keep your spot in medical Hollywood and not lose any kind of money. I don't know what it is. Maybe you really believe it, but most of us out here that are watching you, that are going to watch a podcast like this, do not buy what you're trying to sell. And it's simple as that. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what said you? How do you feel about what Neil deGrasse Tyson said here? Was he on point, off point, whatever your thoughts are? Please let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. This was crazy, absolutely ridiculous, old talking points, things that have been debunked, not just by guys like myself and, YouTubers, alternative media, but the government itself, Rochelle Walensky, Anthony Fauci. They've all come back and said that what he's saying is false after saying that what he was saying is true. So I don't even understand the whole point of this. Like, you are way too late. Maybe if you were early in the pandemic, maybe it'd be a little bit more believable. But right now, come on, man. We're way past that. You need to update your talking points ASAP and stop living in 2020. We are in 2023, and we're not going to go back to that time at any point in the near future. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.